Afternoon. I think it's going to be difficult to keep you all awake, but I'm going to try that. There was a sumptuous meal and I think a 2-hour break. So I will try to keep you awake. So normally when we start these sessions, we'll say stand up, lift your hands, move it, and then sit down. But since you all just came in, I'm not going to ask you to do that. Let me start by asking you this question. How many big data analytics people are here? 1. That's nice. 2? Or did I see 2? Okay. How many architects? No, these architects are not counted. How many engineers? Wow. Well, can I ask this question since we are on how many BIM modelers are here? Wow. Okay. So, this is not going to be difficult for you to understand. Since we have a lot of engineers, it's going to be easy, and since there's a minimal amount of architects, I think it's also going to be easy. I'm not going to get my architect friends upset, but this is always the problem we have, a fight between architects and engineers, and then Autodesk is trying to get us all together. So we are in a new age of getting disrupted, and this concept, I work mainly in the Middle East and now significantly in India, and this would be an experience of what we are experiencing both in the Middle East region as well as in India. From concept to construction, so we are planning to show you how we take the design from the architect and we build it, all this digitally as well as in the factories. And how, I don't want to ask this how many above 40, but I'm not going to ask this question, don't lift your hands. But the people above 40, we had a different way of constructing. I think the new people who are in the construction industry, keep in mind, construction industry is one of the oldest industries in the world. That is a little bit different from the rest of the industries. It's progressed, so some of you all would not have an idea of how it was. But we'll just go through that, from concept to construction, the new age digital disruption. Well, we have a global presence. We are S&T, and I have to do a little bit of selling, so spare me that time. We are S&T, we have a global presence, that's all where we work. In 2013, we set up our technology center called our Center of Excellence in Coimbatore, close by from here. And of course, to say it in simple words, it was powered by Autodesk at that point of time. We serve globally from that place. We've always been an avid user of technology, and we've always been pushing at frontiers ahead of the curve. So in 2013, maybe now cloud is a common word. In 2013, there was no cloud. But in 2013, we set up our own cloud based in Coimbatore. So anybody who wants to log into your office for the business managers here, you just needed to give them a computer and they have your full database. These are stuff. This is our office in Coimbatore, a nice office with all double monitors in many places, which is needed. So please make sure you go ask your managers for double monitors. It increases productivity. We are in the next phase now, and we are digitally disrupted big time, and I'll tell you how over the next few slides. So, thus for the architects first, we have pre-design, and for the single data analytics who was here, we have in the whole construction process, we have pre-design, we have a design phase, we have a construction phase, we have a sales phase. This is because it's in the real estate industry. And then we have a living and building space. So we are just trying to cover all of these in this short presentation. So this is how we believe the processes are: big data, GIS, BIM and VR for ideating, an integrative design approach, energy modeling, simultaneously generated quantities from collaborative models, real measurements using LIDAR technologies. I forgot to ask how many surveyors here. Any surveyors here? That's nice. It's actually undervalued, the importance of surveyors, but it's very important for real life building construction. Suppliers getting product ready with Web 2 technology. We'll be dealing a little bit in detail with that. virtual construction, BIM 4D and 5D, and all the other Ds which Sunil promised us. Virtual construction, VR walkthroughs. For those who like to go through real VR walkthroughs, my colleagues can show it to you. We have them here. BMS and BIM integration, GIS integrated, and robotics for maintenance. Now, as S&T, and I'll run through this slide, we are in many of these areas, and I'll tell you where we are. The following up slide, to give you an idea, is where Autodesk is doing its products. So that'll give you a great idea of how much we all don't know. So that's going to help you. So S&T, we get big data from outside. We don't do this ourselves. We are in BIM and VR. We are in integrative design approach. In fact, right now, we have 2 projects implemented in India that in the middle of the night, if the project manager wants to wake up and see what's the latest set of drawing that his person has done, he can do it. We have 2 projects ongoing in India right now. So that's integrative design approach for you. We make our quantities from BIM. We do real measurements using LIDAR technology. We have our factories based out of Oman, and we are building a couple of factories in Sri Lanka. So where the designs which has been produced in our office in Coimbatore gets directly onloaded to the machine. So whatever the architects designed, the engineers have programmed, gets produced in the factories directly. BIM 4D, 5D, we are in VR walkthroughs, as I said. We are in IoT, but it's not the main subject, but just to indicate that if you go into 6D, 7D, and all those stuff, we also do that with our sister company. BIM integration. And now just to say it's a complete life cycle, and this is where I'll request my technical partners to come and explain to you how much we don't know about Autodesk. Sorry, Sunil.
Good afternoon.
So
for the big data integration, we use Autodesk Forge to integrate all the information that is there into other products. At the GIS level, we have choice of using Autodesk Map 3D, InfraWorks, or Revit, depending on the scale and size of the project. Of course, for BIM and VR, it's 3ds Max in combination with Revit and Recap Pro. Again, integrative design approach is completely driven by Revit and the 360 design products. Energy modeling, we use Insight. Navis works for quantity generation and clash detection. And for the LIDAR scanning, is we get these LIDAR scans and use Recap Pro to get them onto our working systems. Yes, to work with the suppliers, of course, it's BIM 360 build and coordinate the new products from Autodesk. Revit at the time of construction for coordinating with the site and the design teams. It's the same all through the cycle. And eventually, when it comes to digital manufacturing, where we'll take you through some of our projects, Autodesk plus its DM tools and Fusion 360. At the time of sales, 3ds Max for visualization, Revit for adjustments. And throughout the operational cycle, it's BIM 360 Ops, where we take the entire data all through the cycle. And eventually, the cycle completes itself with the original data integrating with the large infrastructure data in InfraWorks and Map 3D.
Thanks, Nilishan. So, can we quickly understand how many of you have heard all these products? That's a decent amount, yeah. And how many of you all have worked on these products? Good, okay. So, thanks. I'll take it from here. Sorry, I forgot the last one, Forge and 360 Ops. This is for the management team of you all here. I know maybe most are modelers here, as I saw, but please understand, that the cost of the building, and cost is becoming very effective, can be mainly done in the first part of the cycle in pre-design and design stage. For those who are, is there any quantity surveyors here? Yeah, okay, I see one or two, yeah. So the cost is a very important component, and this is the reason why we show that at which point of time that the value engineering can be done on the project and you can get a good project. Just to take you through this part, to explain to this part is now done from pre-design, design and construction. So how many designated VDC managers do we have here? So that's 5. So that should be like some 50 or 100 right now. So this is the new area that you people have to understand. We need VDC managers, and VDC managers comes with 2 parts, one with the tool knowledge and one people with the trade knowledge. So me and Autodesk have been having this discussion for quite some time. We are trying to see how we can pass on such more data, because we are all looking forward, and that's the biggest job breaks we have for virtual design construction. We call it VDC or I'm sorry, I have to go back a slide. Okay, and virtual construction, that's virtual design on one side, and the rest part of it is physical construction. Just to explain to you again, this is the traditional model of how it works, and I think I see a lot of youngsters here, and you should understand how much this is disrupted. Old people like me, I think we understand this disruption. Previously, the owner used to design a project, the designers used to design it, the cost controls used to, it's design, your architects comes, cost controls, and when engineers used to work, then it used to be given to a contractor, then to sales, and then to maintenance of a building. That's the building life cycle that we go. But nowadays, this is no more there, and the whole thing is disrupted. So this is what happens nowadays, and this is not theory. This is what's happening in 2, 3 of our projects. So simultaneously, the projects get designed by the virtual design construction expert. Simultaneously, we are building the building. Simultaneously, we are pricing the building. And there are new mechanics, and we've had these discussions in many panel discussions saying that the business model is changing. And you need to make sure that as fellow professionals on which part of the cycle you are. I hope you'll understand what this means. You'll have seen the business model, you have seen how these Autodesk products now help disrupting the industry. I want to get this message across, so that's why I'm spending some time on it. I have lots of other slides to show. So I hope you guys understand that these products of Autodesk has disrupted our industry from what we knew it before. So we are doing nearly everything simultaneously. I'm going to go with our experience and go to you one by one stage, and I'm going to go a little bit quick on it, and I hope it's all right. So big data for real estate project conceptualization. People nowadays use big data. They find out how many people comes, how many footfalls are, can we use this building in this place? Is it the right place? These are real estate professionals who use big data, not necessarily architects and engineers, but those are more for commercial decision makers. But that is very important. You need to do GIS, for example. Now I think most of the projects comes here. You place your product, you place your project in the location where it is. I think infrastructure is going to go big in India, and we need a lot of GIS and feasibility studies and impact studies, which right now is not done in a professional manner as what is being done in the Western world. So that's another big scope of increase here. We do BIM and VR for ideating. I don't want to dwell on these slides too long, but these are physical ones which we have done. These are not pictures of the net. The right one is, but not the one on the left, where we physically design showrooms, office spaces, hotels, and stuff like that. And as I said, my colleagues are here, and they can explain to you. Anybody who's interested can meet them after the session. These are examples of, you can see that lesser surprises in construction, more challenges to create and innovate. These are some of the leading showrooms being designed in our country today, being done by us. and discussed with the designers of the problems that they have. And this is what I will dwell some time on this slide, and we call this the C4I model. And this is collaborative, concurrent, consistent, centralized information. So this is where I don't know whether you would like it or not, but this makes people less dependent on asking you, send me the mail, send me this drawing, store it here, what's happening, and it also allows people to see what you've done for the day. So I'm not so sure whether you like it or not, but this is required at a business management level, and we've executed this in 2 projects, and going forward we'll be executing it in all our projects, which basically means that everybody works on the central model. So it is like we have this building, and then the stage guy comes and makes the stage, the electrical guy comes and makes the electric connections, the sound system guy comes and puts his speakers in place. This never used to happen before, in a certain sense. It used to happen like, okay, send me those drawings now, send me these drawings now, send me these drawings, coordinate. Now this discussion doesn't happen on mail, it happens live, thanks to Autodesk. So we use the Naviswork models to use with our site team. The design team uses the Revit model. We use some third-party tools, but everybody else is connected to this. So it's sad that there is only 1 QS in the room, or 2 or 3 QS, but all the quantity surveyors of old have to be worried, because the quantities are now only being taken off the real models. So unless they upgrade their skills, and to all engineers to take out the models, or we know a couple of companies in India where the architect is now taking out the quantities for the job. So this is also a very interesting, disruption for you and for the architects also. They are requested now to take out the quantity. Energy modeling and simulation, we still don't worry much about energy costs in India, but this is something else where we are lacking people in. We are not able to find people, where they have to understand the energy situation of the country, place, location before they decide on speccing the equipment. And this is mainly more for engineers here who want to get into this. This is an example of a showroom we studied, where we are just showing the temperature effects in winter, spring, summer, and autumn. So that indicates very clearly that what are your energy loads, what are your energy calculation, what are your total life cycle costs. We've been doing this for a project in India. This is a stadium in Doha, which we're doing for the FIFA, and there where we made the design for the VIP areas, and we take out the quantities and give it to them. That's just an example of we've taken out the quantities and giving it to the suppliers. This is again a very just to show you the difference. So that was just a stadium, which we had to do it on a fast-track project. This was a Mandarin Oriental hotel, which very complicated, and again where we took out the quantities. This is another interesting project we had. We did the interiors of an aircraft, and where the aircraft was slightly old, so the sizes, and this is for using LIDAR. So the model which you see is not a picture, the one what you see on top. I'm sorry, I can't point it to that. I think I can. Yes, I can. So this is the one which is actually a measurement taken by a surveyor. So you don't have to worry about the size anymore. There is no size that is missed when you have this size. So we have done this, taken a block drawing and fixed on it and see whether it works or it doesn't work. I'll show you an interesting problem we have. I'm spending time on this because we have a lack of professionals in this area right now in India. Because a surveyor was not normally a person whom we didn't bother much about, but here we have this. These are our original drawings, original designs, and these are now implemented in 3D solid form to go and check whether that works and can this be released for production. Just keep in mind, this gets released to production directly. This was the interior of the aircraft, just to give you an idea. We had to line up all the windows, and it is just to show that in case there was any measurement that was missed, I think, sorry. You can see in this particular place that one window is much lower than the other window because of when they had laid down the aircraft. And you know, inside an aircraft, you have very limited space. Because of that limited space, you will not be able to see you'll be able to see rather the difference is very high. So that was a problem which we sorted out using all these technologies. We'll see this quickly later. We send drawings from, as I said, from our studios straight to the shop floor. This is an example of the modeling we do on real, these are built-up model, real virtual design, virtual design construction. They are not blocks. They are built tile by tile. They are built WC by WC. These are real WCs supplied to us, the pictures supplied to us by the respective, this is just the, oops. Will that go on video? No? Sorry, that was just a model, yes. So that's also to show constructional sequence. Again, we are expecting architects to do this. We don't want engineers to do this because architects sometimes, because of the difficulty of the design, are not able to understand the construction sequencing, will not allow a certain type of detail. I'll skip that. Blockchains will come into picture. I don't think that's more from an architectural engineering side, but that's more from commercial side. That's just to show the digital. VR walkthrough, I said I will show it to you later. Internet of Things, and this Internet of Things is so much connected. I'm going to run through this very quickly because these are our own implementations we've done. So these are for energy modeling and understanding, which we've done this. So once you've done your energy modeling, you can also run these both offline and online. Mr. Sunil was speaking about this, and he was talking about the reason why we need to have GIS, integrated BIM data. I do not know how many of you all deal with houses, pattas, lands, and stuff like that. And I know you've been to any land office in India. It's such a mess. And I'm sure you will understand that over a period of time, with all of us expecting better deliveries, the integration of BIM becomes very important. Robotics for maintenance, not part of us. I will run through these slides now very fast. Feel free to ask me questions later, okay? This is there are two examples we are showing, 2 or 3 examples we are showing of an ID design project where it was designed in the studio, drawings done, materials sent to the factory on the internet, produced and then put back on site. But this is not a video, it's a real life. So this is the 3D concepts given by the designers, and this is how we went about making the drawings. That's the only picture we had from the architects. These are samples we made, these are drawings we did, this is the actual site, these are detailed drawings which we did. This is not all in BIM, some in BIM and some in 2D, but these are all workshops. We had details, we worked with Italian, and that's there, the items finished. So that's, and this is another, you could see how complicated this geometry is, and we've done samples of this, and these are the drawings we did, and the drawings are no more lines. So for the professionals here, the drawing, I'll just take you back to that. So that, if you can see these cut pieces here, they're all cut from a machine, straight away coming from the studio. So that's where technology is taking us, and these rods, again, was cut straight from a software. We've done this even for glass pieces, actually, for curved glass handrails, sending it straight from So this is how we built it. So these tiles were done in Italy, and they came here. We had no issues after following up the drawing. So this is another complicated geometry, and you can see all this was done on AutoCAD, Autodesk products, and then sent to the factory, produced, come, and then assembled like Lego on site. So we expect the professionals to understand the difficulties in construction in this. This is, again, different, those design panels which you saw earlier. So these design cutouts, which was again made like this, and then this was cut in Dubai and brought down and installed in India. So that's a site, and we are in the, and that's the finished product. So now we'll just run through quick a public toilet and hotel interior. But again, I'm going to run through quick because of lack of time, but we are always available to have a chat with you. So this is the level of detail which we are expecting, and these are built toilets. When I say built toilets, that means I can remove one tile from them without any hassle. I can remove one screw from them. I can remove the paper holder from them. I can remove, when I say remove, I can remove it as an item. So don't get me wrong. You may be saying, what's the problem? We can remove everything. It's like we can remove this and fix with something else, and there will be a tile at the background. And you want any section, and this is how we release our drawings to the people on the shop floor, so they understand what exactly that they are building. And this is just every single detail. And if you go there, I mean, I'm an operations man, so you can see even the single corner detail is detailed out, so that they understand. So this is the hotel rooms in corridor, and these are all real stuff. Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys understand between real stuff and drawings. So these are, if you can take this and implement it anywhere. It's not like the drawing is different from what you're doing on site. I've had arguments with my studio when they say it's a site problem. You know, it's not a site problem. It's a drawing problem, which happens on site. So these are, and this is on virtual mock-up. So the owners of this hotel were able to go through with our virtual reality glasses and see how it was done before deciding whether these are the samples they want. And then, so that you can reduce the cost of mock-ups. And this is how we are bringing value to our client. So that's it. This is the sort of industry which is disrupting us, thanks to Autodesk. And this is the disruption I spoke about. I'll once again go through the slides to give you all an effect, on these two slides, to give you an impact to see what exactly is happening in the industry. And just to leave you with a small anecdote, that's the construction industry in India 2019. We have 99 cities identified with 31.38 billion, 11 billion for 500 cities, 61.53 for heritage cities, 2 billion for housing development corporation, 650 billion in investments, 100 smart cities. All these are numbers, but it's interesting numbers because we're all talking about no work, and there are 12 cities to be developed, and there are 622 kilometers of metros to be built, and there's around 44,805 crores, 17,000 acres to be developed, and all this needs your help. So let's do this, let's get to work. Thank you very much.